Jo, schönen guten Samstagmorgen wünsche ich euch. Wir sind heute mal unterwegs in einem schönen kleinen Click-and-Point Adventure und ich hoffe, ihr hört mich ganz gut und unabgehakt, weil ich teste gerade wieder mal mein neues Mikro aus und hoffe, dass die Einstellungen soweit passen, ich nicht zu laut bin oder sonstiges. Ich habe mal in Foolish Mortals reingeschaut, ganz kurz. Würde das aber mit euch neu starten natürlich. Viel habe ich nicht gemacht, also eigentlich gehe ich schon sehr blind rein in das Spiel. Der Anfang wird halt etwas schneller gehen, aber ich würde sagen, wir gehen rein, habt Spaß. Ja, wir beginnen.
They said there was a treasure on the island. Its location known only to the dead.
Schreibt's
I
mal
could
rein, ob
see
ich
it in my
vorlesen
dreams.
soll. Ob ihr
How
selber
was
lesen
I
möchtet.
supposed to know that in order to find it, I'd have to die too?
Spooky. Das ist ja mal ein langer Vorspann, hm? Auch nicht schlecht. Aber schön gezeichnet auf jeden Fall. Sehr angenehm. Schauen wir mal, wie weit wir kommen heute. Ich werde am Abend auf jeden Fall nochmal einen Stream starten. Wir werden heute Abend Demeo Dungeons and Dragons spielen. Weiter mit Chainsaw Slayer. Auch ein sehr cooles Tabletop-Spiel. Kann man mittlerweile ein bisschen leveln, geht durch Dungeons. Es gab schon mal Demeo selbst, wenn es jemand kennt. Auch ein sehr geniales Spiel. Aber wir konzentrieren uns heute erstmal auf Foolish Mortal.
Well, I think you're a fool. Everyone on Devil's Rock knows what happened to that house. Over
Was denn?
30 years it stood empty now.
Oh,
Locals
30
won't
Jahre.
go near it. I say all it contains now is dust, cobwebs, and bad luck.
I don't have time for ghost stories.
Then what do you want with it?
33 years ago, the Belmore Trading Company was wound up and absorbed by the state. The owner's dead, the heir nowhere to be found. Money was missing from the company accounts, and it's still unaccounted for. I'm here to find it.
So you're a treasure hunter.
Not quite. I'm an auditor.
An auditor. Records, taxes, all that stuff.
Think of me as the adventurer of the accounts book. But on this case, I'm out of office and on location. At 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, the state's claim on that money lapses for good along with my commission. So I've got one night to find it. I'm overdue for a meeting with the parish comptroller to reopen the case.
The comptroller you're meeting wouldn't happen to be Theodore Grimes.
Hoppla. Jetzt, verdammt. Entschuldigung. Ich bin's übersprungen. Ja gut, dann kriegst du halt erstmal dein Geld. Ja.
And here's your change.
Oh, danke schön.
Didn't you say
Yay.
you'd take me into town?
You can walk from here. No one with any sense would go further onto this island at night. And remember, the tide's coming in. Within the hour, you'll be cut off from the mainland
Ist
until
auch ein bisschen
tomorrow.
auch
That suits
zufriedengestellt.
me. I took the pocket
ich
watch
mal.
out of my vest and clicked open the cover. got 13 hours to find $13 million.
Unlucky for some, but if you're really dead
Klingt
set on
wirklich
it,
sehr nach Unglück.
here's a tip. Go find the Spirit Queen.
The Spirit Queen? Who is that?
I think you'll find you mean, what's that? Good luck, Murphy McAllen.
Okay, willkommen. Hallo, the Spirit Queen. Was wird uns erwarten? Rätsel, 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 würde ich sagen.
Walking into the port town of Deadnettle, I could sense its history in every stone, brick, and plank. Echoes of merchant ships loading and unloading all manner of cargo from expeditions throughout the Caribbean. Gold and treasure that may still lie hidden on the island.
Eigentlich kann ich mich hier voll gemütlich hinsetzen, weil ich brauche eigentlich nur die Maus. Eine verschlossene Tür. Dublin's Jewelry.
The door was locked with a sign in the window saying, "Closed for private appointment. Reopening shortly." I could see two gentlemen inside the store. A spindly man with a wiry mustache had his face pressed against a display cabinet, while a diminutive older gentleman tried desperately to pull him away. I'd seen similar behavior in Laurel and Hardy pictures.
Schlecht. So, was haben wir denn hier Schönes? Ah, du kannst dich auch schneller bewegen, oder? Ah ja, Doppelklick. Sehr gut. Sonst dauert das alles ein bisschen ewig.
The sign read, "The Fantastic Fantocchio Brothers will be performing tonight. All ages welcome. Tips welcome even more."
Spenden sind natürlich willkommen. Auch hier. Ich werde das Video auf YouTube übertragen. Falls euch das Video gefällt, lasst doch ein Like da. Und über einen Kommentar würde ich mich auch sehr freuen. Falls ihr mal was anderes sehen möchtet oder so. Bin ich sehr gespannt. Gehen wir mal zu
Slap
ihm.
me with a paddle. It's a whopper.
Der fängt was. Oh, Schnur gerissen.
Blast my barnacles. That's the third one tonight. These fish sure must have been spooked by something.
Von was denn? Ist ja die Frage, ne? Was erschreckt die Fische, dass der Herr nicht angeln kann? Da ist ein Fisch.
Are the fish biting?
Not so well today, to tell the truth. That was the first nibble in hours. I'm Ned Kipps, by the way. I haven't seen you around here before.
I'm here because I have a very important job on this island. A calling that only I can fulfill. Dark secrets that I need
Der ist
to
selbst
uncover.
überschätzt, oder? Aber wir schaffen das natürlich, weil
Now,
wir sind
why on
die
earth would you
besten
choose Devil's Rock as the place to
Weltreitreiber.
vacation?
I must have done something to upset my travel agent. The name's Murphy McAllen.
Nice to meet you, Mac. Not peckish, are you? You can help yourself to what I got here in my bucket if you like.
Oh, thanks. My expectations of a local seafood delicacy quickly unraveled when I plunged my hands into what felt like lumpy jelly.
Ugh.
It was a handful of fish guts.
That's the best bait you get around here. And they smell pretty bad, but the critters on this island love them. Who would have known they're good at suckering in tourists, too?
Hast du schon mal von der Spirit Queen gehört?
Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Heard of her? Sure. But I wouldn't be heading out to the bayou at this time of night.
If she's out there, that's where I need to go.
Murphy, bayou's dangerous. It's not the kind of place you want to go alone.
I'll be careful.
Well, if you're set on it, just take the western route out of town. Left at Pimlico Rock. Then right on
schön.
into the bayou. The darker gets in there. You'll see the lights guiding you the last
Leider
stretch
habe
of the
ich
way.
keinen, der mit
Just make
alles
sure
gut
the
aussieht. Hätte
gators
ich mal
don't
nach
get
den
too attached to
Mikroeinstellungen
you.
fragen können, ob das passt. So, das ist mal die Karte. Da haben wir einen neuen Punkt. Da spielt jemand Resident Evil 2. Na schau. Wie ist denn das Leben so in Dead Needle? Alter.
What's life like in Dead
Kumpel.
Nettle?
Well, it's not the hustle and bustle it used to be, but it suits me just fine. The ships just don't come through Daredevil anymore. Not since the disappearance.
Must
Okay.
have been talking about the Belmore wedding. The locals actually believe the story. Have you ever considered moving to the mainland?
Nah, I wouldn't like it over there. Crazies, oddballs, crackpots.
Das
Mainland
stimmt
doesn't have any of them.
Er spricht mir aus der Seele. Was
What's
liest
that
du
you're
da?
reading?
This is Herman Melville's Moby Dick.
Oh, Moby
Are you enjoying it?
Dick.
I'm struggling my way through it, to be honest. I thought it was a how-to book. I much prefer the last book I read. It was
Du
much
musst einen
more
weißen Wal
action-packed.
angeln.
What book was that?
The Encyclopedia of
Hätte
Fishing
sich aber, glaube ich, schwer
Third
getan
edition.
mit der Angel.
I'm going to get back to.
I wouldn't go looking for it if I were you, you know.
Excuse me?
Folks this island gets now either seem to be looking for something or running away from something. You look like you're doing both. You got your eye on that Belmont treasure, and I wouldn't be doing right by you if I didn't warn you to stay away from it.
Also rennt
I
er
know
weg
this island
und
has a
sucht
reputation
es.
for the macabre,
Ja, ja.
and it's all fun and games in the beginning. But dig too deep,
So ist es,
and you
ne?
end up in a place you don't
Den
want to be.
schlimmen.
What makes you think
Finger.
Ned looked at me in a way that told me my playing innocent wasn't going to work. Okay, that's right, but I'm not a grave robber. I'm an auditor, contracted by the state.
It don't matter what your reasons are, Mac. You need to be careful with that house. Us locals, we don't go anywhere near it.
I appreciate the concern, but who can really say they've seen a ghost?
I have, Murphy. And I'm
Wer
not
hat
the
einen
only
gesehen?
one. Ever since the disappearance, anyone brave or foolish enough to go up to their house has seen the same thing. You might say it was moonlight shimmering off dusty glass, the shadow of a tree branch, or a curtain blown by an unseen breeze. But deep down, we all know what we saw.
What did you see?
Was haben wir
The
denn gesehen?
Phantom. It's not something anyone will forget. Every poor soul who's seen the Phantom has been plagued by the most awful experience. Night after night of endless nightmares. Months of restless sleep. Just visions of faces. Evil faces.
Böse
Laughing.
Gesichter.
It's like it can infect your dreams.
And who do you think the Phantom is? Or was?
Nobody knows. But it must have been someone at that awful wedding. Someone who doesn't want to leave the house. Or doesn't want to let anyone in.
I appreciate your concern, but I have a job to do. I don't think my boss would be too happy if I report back that ghosts and ghouls are what's standing in my way.
You're not the first to come looking for the treasure, you know.
But if I find it, I could be the last.
Whether you
Tür auch
find it
zu.
or not, I hope that's true.
schlecht.
For
Mir
everyone's
sind
sake.
auch schon Geister. Mir gehen die Türen
Ned's
automatisch
talk
zu
of
und auf.
nightmares was the
Da.
last thing I needed to be worried about. Even if it was a job, ever since I read about the Belmore treasure, all I could do was dream about finding it.
Ich muss mich ein bisschen näher hinsetzen. Lese ich ein bisschen mehr. So. Alright. Mal gerade sitzen. Wäre vielleicht auch nicht so schlecht, ne? So da. Wir haben. Was steht denn eigentlich auf der Zeitschrift? Guten wie in schlechten Zeiten. Soll ich das vorlesen? Geheimnisvolles Herrenhaus, eine verwunschene Braut und ein Schatz, der bis heute unentdeckt geblieben ist. Schlüpfen Sie unter eine Decke, während wir Ihnen die gruselige Geschichte der verschwundenen Hochzeit von Belmore Manor erzählen. Alle geht es um die Geschichte, okay. Ich glaube, zu der kommen wir auch nochmal. Deshalb brauche ich sie jetzt gar nicht so wirklich vorlesen. Lasst euch überraschen. Den Anfang kenne ich ja schon, wie gesagt. Deshalb wird das jetzt alles kurz ein bisschen schneller gehen. Wir schauen uns trotzdem alles an. Und dann ist die Frage, wo
Of all of the
wollen wir
papers pinned to the
hingehen?
board,
Gehen wir gleich
one
mal
article stood
zur...
out to me. It showed the beaming face of a rotund fisherman on the docks with a headline declaring he'd just broken the island's
Aber
heaviest
irgendwer wird
catch
mir dann
record.
schon erzählen, wenn einer reinschaut mal. So, dann gehen wir doch mal da zu dem Fragezeichen. Sterne. Und ein alter Dampfer.
After what felt like miles, the eerie darkness of the bayou gave way to the soft orange glow of a gas lamp. And beyond it, was the last thing I expected to find in the heart of the
Nicht so
swamp.
hoch tun. Bildschirm nur kurz richten müssen.
Hand-painted lettering on the side of a paddle wheel revealed the Spirit Queen wasn't a person, it was a riverboat. Its hull sagged, the wood swollen and split from years in the swamp.
Schaut
Healing
schon sehr
pain
nett
curled like dead
gezeichnet aus.
skin. And what remained of its once grand decks now tilted and crooked. It looked like a wedding cake that had been left to rot.
Okay, wir dürfen agieren. Wir haben hier einen Schrumpfkopf. Oh, den können wir nehmen. Cool.
As I took the shrunken head from the sign, it almost seemed to grin at me. Creepy.
Unheimlich. Unheimlich.
I considered climbing the water tower, but I couldn't imagine what I'd find at the top other than stagnant, moldy water. And there was
wirst es
plenty of
nicht
that in the
erfahren.
bayou already.
Wenn du nicht reingehst. Aber du willst anscheinend nicht reingehen. Okay. Kann man nichts machen.
The damp air of the bayou had swelled the window in its frame. It would need more force than my bare hands could supply to open it.
Mhm. Kann ich die Tür öffnen?
I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked.
Dann, was können wir hier denn machen? Ein Kran. Aha. Schauen wir uns mal den Alligator an. Oh!
The alligator snapped at me like a sprung trap, giving me more than enough reason to stay well away from those teeth. If I wanted to get across the jetty, I needed to make sure the alligator wasn't on it.
Okay. Also müssen wir erstmal irgendwie den Alligator da wegbekommen, bevor wir...
It was the Spirit Queen riverboat. Decks
das
rotting,
zur Spirit Queen
smokestacks
kommen, ne?
toppling, and its hull sinking into the gator-infested bayou. The only way aboard was along the rickety jetty.
Ja, hier scheint es nichts weiteres zu geben. Dann schauen wir doch mal nochmal zum Strand.
As I returned to the beach, I could see the causeway was now fully flooded over by the rising tide. I was trapped here until dawn.
Okay, also die Flut ist gekommen, deshalb sitzen wir hier fest. Schauen wir mal, ein Blechboot.
Despite the little girl's disparaging look at her tiny toy, I doubted she'd be okay with me commandeering it.
Warum? Wird sie schon nicht wehren können.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
want to
the
take
balloon.
the little girl's balloon from her. Her
Auch nicht.
brooding face made it more than clear that it wouldn't be a good idea to get on her bad side.
Schauen wir mal, was das kleine Mädchen sagt.
Hello?
Hey,
Little
Mädchen.
girl? You lost your mommy and daddy? It's
Yeah.
late. There could be a lot of strange people around.
Yeah, I think I'm talking to one.
Mhm.
Maybe I should introduce myself.
Hätte ich auch gesagt.
My name's Murphy McCallan. What's yours?
Mallory Wisp, angel on the outside, malevolent force of disparagement, derision, and disorder on the inside. At least, that's what Mrs. Huxley wrote in my school report. Hey, do you know what an enfant terrible is?
Do your parents know you're here?
Of course they do. This is my happy place. I come here when I need to cheer up.
Ein
What's got
happy
you down?
place.
It's my birthday, and I didn't get the present I wanted.
Well, happy birthday. Is being out here helping?
A little. It's a nice place to plot my revenge.
This doesn't sound like an appropriate way for a little girl to spend her time.
Little girl? Little girl? What am I supposed to like? Posies and princesses? Tiaras and tea parties? Those are not my thing.
Auf der Insel wahrscheinlich eher nicht, oder? Also... Welches Geschenk hast du dir zum Geburtstag
What
gewünscht?
present did you want for your birthday?
A doll?
A doll?
What's wrong with wanting a doll?
Nothing. I just didn't expect it. Doesn't quite fit with your whole aura.
I'm still a little girl. I don't have to defy all your stereotypes. Instead, I get this stupid tin boat. I know Sebastian's got something to do with it, too. He was all over the tin boat when I showed him my toy catalog from Mulligan's.
Is he one of your friends?
Not in a million years. You can see right through him.
Wie willst du dich denn rächen?
How are you planning on getting revenge?
I'm not sure. Currently, I'm at the plotting and ruminating stage of my plan.
What are you plotting and ruminating about?
How things would be different if I was in charge of the world. We had a school project last week. What we want to be when we grow up. Mildred wanted to be a baker. Bobby wanted to be a firefighter.
What did you want to be?
Queen of the universe.
I guess no one can accuse you of lacking ambition. Do you think you could fix the world's problems and make the world a better place if you were in charge?
Oh, absolutely not. It would be far worse. My patience is worn so thin with all the idiots around me. I don't know if it would be wise for me to wield that much power. You to the dungeons. You to the torture room.
Ja.
It would be very
Schrott
cathartic
die
for me, though.
Toiletten. Ja, ich war ja gerade bei der Spirit Queen. Warum? Kann ich es
If you're not
haben?
happy with your tin boat, could I have it?
I'll tell you what. I'll trade you my boat for your soul. I'm just kidding. Your soul can't be worth diddly squat. But I would like a doll.
Herrlich. Schön. Na gut, gehen wir das alles durch kurz. Also,
Shouldn't you be heading home?
I'm in trouble at home. Mrs. Huxley held me back for detention yesterday. Again.
What did you do?
I convinced 3/4 of the class to sign over their eternal souls to me in exchange for some jelly beans. Third graders are remarkably easy to manipulate with a bag of candy and a little peer pressure.
Why did you do that?
You've got to speculate to accumulate.
Why did you want their souls? What use do you have for them?
Mann.
Just making sure I'm prepared. And that's
Kleines
just
Biest,
step
hm?
one.
I didn't dare ask what she was preparing for. Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Look, if Maury put you up to this, you can tell him that I have no intention of going anywhere near his big, boring boat again. And anyway, those skulls look better with a little lipstick on them. I even made some cowrie necklaces for them, but nope. If we have a skeletal uprising, they're just going to have to maraud without being dolled up. And they'll
Okay.
have to take it up with Maury.
Who's Moray?
Nope,
Maury?
not falling for it.
Nicht? Warum nicht? Gibst du gerne
Do you like
auf den
living on Devil's
Teufelsfels?
Rock?
This island is cut off from society, an isolated microcosm of the dark and macabre. If I'm honest, it fits me quite nicely. Lots of places to explore, too, when I'm not banned from them.
Where are you banned from?
Where am I not? The captain's club wouldn't let me in after I declared a mutiny. The lady at the newspaper office kicked me out when I tried selling stories about a zombie uprising. The witch doctor in the bayou threatened to hex me if I didn't stop sneaking on board and borrowing his toys. And the gravedigger banned me from the cemetery when I played a teensy little practical joke.
What did you do?
I convinced him the stiff he buried was still alive. People are so antisocial around here.
You snuck on board the Spirit Queen? You got past the alligator?
Oh yeah, Mephistopheles is a big soft.
Mephistopheles. Oh.
I think he likes the smell of rotting fish in my hair. My dad works the trawlers. Our entire house stinks like the inside of a humpback whale.
Entschuldigung.
I better get going.
I wouldn't walk across the beach again if I were you. This beach is covered in quicksand. I can hop along the surface, but with your weight, you'll be sucked down like a noodle.
Oh no. Really? This beach has quicksand?
Ach Gott, was ist denn
Nah,
los?
I'm just messing with you. Tourists.
So, Sie möchten eine Puppe haben, oder? Wie wär's denn mit einem Schrumpfkopf?
How would you like to trade your tin boat for this?
A doll?
At least the head of one.
Deal! Oh, I'll hug him and kiss him and conquer the world with him.
Hard to starboard, little boat. Prepare to weigh anchor.
Right. Jetzt haben wir mal ein Boot. Okay. Gehen wir mal zur Insel. Gehen wir nochmal nach Dead Needle. Hat sich da irgendwas verändert? Schauen wir mal darüber. Da ist noch nichts offen. Ich habe das Geschäft da drüben aufgemacht, weil wir haben gedacht, wir machen ja später auf. Da ist auch noch kein... Ja, scheint auch noch geschlossen zu sein, ne? Schauen wir mal hin. Was haben wir denn jetzt alles in unserem schönen Inventar?
The door was locked with a sign in the window saying closed for private. I could see.
Ja,
I'd
haben
seen.
wir schon gehört. Können wir da
I
vielleicht...
packed the fish guts into the tin boat. It was the smelliest little ship to sail the seven seas.
kombinieren können? Wir haben was kombiniert. Okay, dann gehen wir doch nochmal hierher. Huch. Bist denn du? Hallo?
Mr. McAllen,
Hey, woher weißt du meinen Namen?
Yes? How do you know my name?
it's a work assignment that brings you to the island. Am I right?
She began staring at me with intense, hypnotic eyes. Disguised within her tailored outfit and tortoiseshell spectacles, she had the crazed look of someone not entirely in touch with reality. That's right.
An auditing job.
Eyes that looked like she was reading my very thoughts. Yes?
Ja.
And you're late. Days late.
Mehrere Tage.
Ned had warned me about the supernatural on this island. Was this person standing in front of me equipped with psychic powers that could read my very thoughts?
Okay.
How do you know all this? Are you the witch doctor?
The witch doctor? No! It was written on this telegram that came in for you. It came through a few days ago now. Your boss isn't too happy by the looks of it. Bill Bolam, the taxi driver, telephoned and said I'd find you out here.
You're reading my telegrams?
I'm a newspaper reporter. It's one of the best ways to get a good story. Now, do you want it or not?
If you wouldn't mind.
Brille putzen muss, obwohl ich nicht mal aufs Glas fasse.
McCallan, you're late reporting in. I don't remember authorizing the reopening of a cold case, but you better make sure it pays off, or you'll be swapping desks back to the mailroom. Sid Sinclair Auditing Company.
Do you want to send a reply?
What was there to say? My only contact was going to be pushing up daisies by morning, and my one lead was the magazine I'd been carrying with me since heading out. Before I checked in with my boss, I needed some progress to report badly. You know, for now I'll just leave it.
Suit yourself. Sounds like you're up to some fun on the island, Murphy. Be a sweetie and keep me updated so I have something to write about, won't you?
She didn't even wait for a reply before she started striding back through the bayou. She hadn't taken a single thing from me, and yet somehow, I still felt like I'd just been mugged.
So, das heißt, wir müssen jetzt diesen Alligator da wegbekommen. Probieren wir es doch mal.
Perhaps this would attract the gator's attention. The hulking mass of scales and muscles lumbered to the edge of the jetty and dangled its toothy jaws over the side, its nostrils flickering at each waft of fish guts.
Wir werden jetzt sicher da reinschubsen.
Ready?
Ready?
Aim.
Go!
With a splash that would be the envy of any cannonballing kid at a pool party, the irritable reptile disappeared into the murky bayou. I just hoped it didn't hold a grudge.
Oder noch irgendwas? Wie konnte man da... Ah, da konnte man sich Sachen anzeigen lassen. Ja. Der Fisch. Also mit dem Mausrad draufklicken
The
kann man...
taxidermied fish looked like it was barely hanging on to the rotting wooden frame. Deciding it would be better coming with me, I picked it up.
Ja, was auf der Map
And
halt
doing
gibt.
so tore a long hole in its previously stitched up seam.
Ui, ganz schlecht. Warum machst du denn sowas?
The plaque read, "My beloved Bernie, heartfelt wishes, now you sleep with
Bei
the
den
fishes."
Fisches. Schön. Na dann.
Spirits and specters from realms yet unknown, guide to me the wanderer who searches alone. Welcome, Murphy McCallan.
How do you know my name? Have you been reading my telegrams too?
I have no need for such trivial paperwork. I have eyes all over this island. Now it's time for me to see you for myself. Come, step into the light. I know a lot about you, Murphy. Unknown
Oh, yeah.
parents, a childhood spent in orphanages. I know things about you even you don't know.
Okay, na dann.
How do you
lass
know
mal
all
raus.
My name is Dr. Moray. I am a conjurer, a shadow man, a controller of spirits that balance the line between life and death. And those spirits whisper to me. But for now, it's your time to talk, Murphy. Tell me why you've come to my humble abode.
I've been told you could help me.
That depends on what you seek.
I kept telling myself that the doctor's theatrics didn't convince me. That there must have been a logical reason why he knew what he did. But with how skittish the locals were, humoring him seemed like my only chance of learning more. I'm looking for the $13 million that went missing from the Belmore accounts. I'm an auditor in the company I work for.
Murphy, do you take me for a
Wäre
fool?
viel zu schnell zum
I know what
Vorlesen,
your
oder?
mind sees when your eyes are closed. Tell me, Murphy,
Sag
what
mir.
do you dream of?
Wovon träumst du? Ist eigentlich beides, oder? Ist beides das Gleiche. Weil ich träume davon, meinen Arbeitsauftrag zu erfüllen. Ich träume davon, das verlorene Schatz von Belmore Manor zu finden. Eigentlich ist es Ja, egal, was du da klickst, weil es ist beides das gleiche.
I
Selbe.
dream about completing my work assignment.
I see that spirit within you,
Ich sehe,
hungering for
dass du
more
dich
than
nach
an
mehr sehnst.
ordinary
Das ist nur nach
life.
einem
And I
Leben.
know
Bla bla
you've
bla.
dreamed about that
Komm gar
treasure
nicht nach.
every night since you first read the story. Tell me I'm not right.
It's like the treasure is calling out for me to find it.
Many have sought the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Alle sind
All have
gescheitert.
failed. Some, it is said, have perished in the process. Do you know what happened at Belmore Manor all those years ago?
The ghost story? I've read it, but I don't know how much of it is really true.
All of it.
Alles.
Dark magic runs throughout Belmore Manor.
Sagt sein Vater die
The
Geschichte
house
auch.
was built by the Belmore brothers, 3 merchants from England who made their fortune trading across the Caribbean. Xavier Belmore, an explorer, Yardley Belmore, an actor, and Cecil Belmore, a scientist. Their parents dead for many years, they each loved and cared for their young sister, Abigail. Abigail met a young sailor who worked aboard her brother's ships, and in less than a year, he proposed. The engagement was a scandal. Despite having the pick of any eligible bachelor in high society, her hand and her share of the Belmore fortune was to go to a commoner. Because of their unconditional love for their young sister, the Belmore brothers sanctioned the union. But people began to wonder if Abigail was being locked into marriage, whether by blackmail or black magic.
Switchen.
The 3 proud brothers planned a grand wedding, but in the months leading up to it, one by one, each of the brothers was lost, presumed dead. And yet the wedding was still to go ahead. And with Abigail set to inherit the entire Belmore fortune once she came of age, people began to wonder whether the sailor was not a perpetrator, but a pawn. On the morning of the wedding, Abigail summoned the sailor to her chambers. "I don't love you," Abigail declared. "I never loved you." And before the guests gathered in the house, Abigail declared that she would marry another on that same evening. John Rackham, first officer of
John
the Belmore
Rackham.
Trading
Ah,
Company,
ja.
would be
Ist
her
ja auch
new
so ein
groom.
Hexer oder sowas.
Except that didn't happen. That night, everyone in the house suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Perhaps it was the last revenge of the scorned sailor. In the house that night was a heart that would be broken, a victim who would be tricked, and a force that would unleash evil. But no one knows exactly who each was. If you want to find the treasure, Murphy, you'll have to find out.
Sicher wollen wir den Schatz finden. Aber sowas von.
You're telling me that all of that actually happened?
And so much more, Murphy. Mysteries you have yet to uncover.
Dr.
ganz
Morey's
ungewohnt mit dem
performance
neuen
was
Mikro.
gripping,
Ich will
but it seemed
hinter
like
dann
something
immer
out of the
irgendwas.
vaudeville shows I'd snuck into as a teenager. Grifters peddling magic spells, fortune-telling, and miracle elixirs. At least that's what I tried to tell myself. And the treasure, is that real too?
It is as real as you are, Murphy. And someone went to a lot of trouble hiding it.
Werden wir ihn
Can you help me
finden,
find
Freunde?
it?
Werden wir ihn
can.
finden?
If you can prove your dedication to the search, I will need you to retrieve something from inside the house. A small leather pouch called a gree-gree still lies
Gree-gree.
inside Abigail Belmore's bedroom. We will need it if I'm to help you. This will get you inside.
Alright.
You're not gonna pull a rabbit out of your hat for your next trick, are you?
I do not do tricks. Murphy McCallan. You'll soon learn this. The Belmore Estate lies at the end of the northeastern peninsula of Devil's Rock. Find that Gree and bring it back to me.
Ganz da hinten, das ist schon ein breiter Weg,
I'll be here when you return.
wenn man so
And
drüber
Murphy,
nachdenkt.
this ghost story? Now it's your story too.
Spannend. Kann ich das sonst irgendwas machen? Nein. Okay. Kann ich eigentlich... Habe ich irgendwas, womit ich... Präparierter Fisch... Telegramm... Er hatte gemeint, ich kann das Fenster kaputt machen, oder? Kann ich den Fisch da durchhauen?
That didn't work.
Nee, schade. Den Schlüssel auch nicht. Herrenhausschlüssel. Kann ich da irgendwas sehen noch? Irgendwas bräuchte man halt, um dieses Fenster aufzumachen.
The sign read
ne?
Dockmaster. Presumably, this little shack was where documents and licenses pertaining to the riverboat's operation were stored.
Ah, okay. Also kann ich hier... Schauen wir mal. Wollen wir jetzt erst hierher gehen, oder wollen wir schauen, ob sich da irgendwas geändert hat? Na komm, wir gehen direkt.
Framed by trees and lit by moonlight, Belmore Manor stood imposing in the still night air. Even without any lights on, it felt like something inside the house was calling me. Or warning
Mal schlafen, alte Tante. 16 Jahre alt. Komm mal zur Ruhe. Entschuldigung, meine alte Hündin ist mal ein dickes Leckerli bekommen, weil mir gestern... egal.
Looking out over the tranquility of the gardens, its magnolias lit by moonlight, nothing could take my attention away from the macabre sight dangling from the oak tree.
Da hängt
A hanged
jemand.
skeleton, its wedding suit little more than tattered rags clinging to bone, and its skull
die sind alle
seemingly
verschwunden.
watching me with hollow, unblinking eyes. An eternal groom without a bride.
Aber ich denke, die sind alle verschwunden, anstatt sich aufgehängt zu haben. Das ist ein Baum mit einem Loch. Ja, komm.
The skeleton hung high up in the tree, swaying with each slight breeze. Even from down on the ground,
Ich habe ja nur
it felt
13 Stunden
disturbingly
Zeit,
close
was
to
zu finden. Oh, ich gehe einfach mal ganz
The
gemütlich.
stark trunk of the tree didn't offer any possibility of climbing it.
Okay. Wo kommen wir da hin? Jetzt geh schneller. Rutschrad, ein Schädel. Dann werde ich wahrscheinlich wieder ein Messer brauchen, weil er den
The wheel
Knoten
was
nicht
too
öffnen
heavy
kann.
to move. The knot was tied so tightly I couldn't loosen it.
Ich hab mir's fast gedacht. Wir haben aber auch nichts.
The cow skull was out of reach, high up on the gable.
Ist sonst noch irgendwas? Warum wird mir das jetzt nicht mehr angezeigt? Jetzt. Ja, du hast nichts zum Durchschneiden. Kannst du die Schuppen aufmachen?
The doors were firmly locked from the inside.
Oh, Möbel. Schön. Na komm. Lauf ein bisschen schneller, du hast nur 13
From the
Stunden Zeit.
patina of rust, it was
Ah,
clear
na
the
toll.
patio set hadn't been used in decades.
Das Hufeisen hat sich umgedreht. Au.
Ouch!
Ach. Aber wir haben ein Hufeisen.
So much for good luck. I picked up the horseshoe that had assaulted me. It was heavy, as the bump on my head attested.
Ja, komm, tu nicht so. Armer Mann.
I considered wading into the pond, water up to my waist, squelching my way through the reeds and mud, past
doch lustig.
frogs, bugs, and water snakes.
Ja, nicht?
Then I realized I had absolutely no reason to do that.
Na gut, also in den Teich will er auch nicht. Dann gehen wir mal daher. Dann werden wir wohl in die Villa gehen, ne? Belmore Manor.
From the outside, I couldn't spot any clues to the location of the Belmore treasure.
Okay. Eingangstür. Weil wir den Schlüssel wahrscheinlich brauchen.
I needed the key to open.
Ja. Kriegst du.
With a deep breath, I placed the key into the lock of the house I'd been thinking about for weeks and turned it.
Klick, klick. Klick, klick. You go in.
Hello? I don't know if
Hello.
I expected a reply, but with only an echo in response, it seemed like nobody was home.
Sollen wir das glauben? Ob
I hope
niemand
that
zu
was just
Hause
the
ist?
wind.
Bin mir da nicht so sicher, mein Freund. Schauen wir mal, Porträt. Huch, Licht.
An orb appeared seemingly from nowhere, glowing and shimmering with energy, simultaneously captivating and terrifying. It was like it had a presence, an aura that I couldn't explain. My first instinct was to look for smoke and mirrors, but this illusion was right before my very eyes, one that I could reach out and
Oder ein
touch.
Irrlicht. Ja genau, ich würde auch einfach mal hingreifen, wenn so ein Licht einfach so da ist. Warum noch nicht? Hätte ich auch getan. Oh. Ach, knack, knack. Die Knochen. Türen. Gehen nicht auf.
Neither of the doors appearing to open, I peered through the crack between them. I couldn't tell if I was imagining things, but it looked like shadows dancing.
Ja, das können auch Vorhänge sein. Ist ja okay.
The door didn't have a visible lock, but as much as I tried, it wouldn't open.
Kamin.
Without a flue, the fireplace seemed entirely decorative, and yet, standing in front of it, I could feel a breeze.
Ja, natürlich. Wenn es ein Kamin ist, muss es auch einen Abzug geben. Das sind die drei Brüder
It
mit
was a family portrait of
Abigail.
all four Belmore siblings. The three brothers stood around their seated younger sister.
Die Tür auf. Nein.
Like the other door, this door had no keyhole, yet still seemed to be locked too.
Ich glaube, mein Magen fängt schon wieder an. Ne? Beschwert sich gerade extrem. Ich würde aber trotzdem gern wissen, was im Ostkorridor ist. Aber sollen wir erstmal dem Licht folgen? Ach komm, folgen wir mal dem Licht. Folge dem Licht.
This was strange. I didn't remember seeing any lights on when I was outside the house.
Nein, habe ich auch nicht gesehen. Bei euch was aufgefallen? Ich hätte auch nichts gesehen. Dienstglocken. Vielleicht kann man ja
I
einen
couldn't
Butler
ring the
fragen.
bells from the hallway.
So, ja, du könntest einfach mal dran tippen.
Walking into the room, I realized it must have been Abigail's bedroom. I was in the right place. Somewhere in this room was the Gree-Gree, and I needed to find it.
Mhm. Gucken wir uns das mal den Phonographen anhören. Das sind die drei
The
Brüder.
phonograph didn't have a record to play.
Oh. Gemein. Blitzt irgendwas unten im
Portraits
Kamin?
hung tight to the wall and didn't reveal anything hidden behind them. The portraits hung tight to the wall.
Okay, selbe Aussage. Einen Schürhaken
I
können wir
took the
nehmen.
poker from the hook.
Get out.
I hope that was my imagination.
Er hat was gesprochen. Er hat verschwinde, Alter.
I tried to lift the ashpan grate, but decades without use had rusted it in place.
Festgerostet. Na, dann probier's mal mit dem Schürhaken, ne?
I wedged the poker in the grate, and with all my might, pulled.
Also noch ist es ja sehr einfach gestaltet. Finde ich gut. Vielleicht hier zum Reinkommen oder so. Im Moment findet man die Sachen
I
noch.
picked up the object that had been glinting in the fireplace and discovered it was a jeweled brooch.
Schauen wir uns die Brosche mal an. Kann ich mir die angucken?
It was an ornate brooch that had tarnished with age. What should have been a sparkling gem was now grimy and dull.
Hier ist noch eine Kiste. Da ist eine Vase. Eine
The music box
Spieluhr.
was locked with no visible keyhole, but a distinctive indent on the front looked like it might be the mechanism to open it, if I had the right key.
Ist da das Chronophon?
I couldn't see anything special about the phonograph's reflection.
Chronophon, Alter. Ah, ja, genau. Ich vermute mal.
The brooch fitted snugly into the indentation in the music box. With a small click,
Darf ich
the
das wieder
music box
mitnehmen?
opened and revealed the contents it had held untouched for more than 30 years. The small leather bag was just as the witch doctor had described. It was hard to imagine what could be so important about it.
Ja. Abigail?
You should not be here.
Warum nicht?
Wait, I can explain.
You don't belong here.
I
Na,
don't
doch.
mean any harm.
Get out. Get out.
Busch. Na toll. Jetzt haben die auch noch Kräfte. Na schau, jetzt ist er doch warten gegangen.
With good
Wow, das
fortune,
war
the
aber ein
pond
weiter
had broken my
Stoß.
fall. It was a strange juxtaposition, wiggling goldfish out of my underwear as I tried to process the fact that I'd just been the victim of an attempted murder by a ghost bride.
Nicht so leibend.
Stories were true. So that meant the treasure might be real as well. And now I had the Gree-Gree. It was time to return to the Spirit Queen.
Ach, das geht automatisch? Oh, okay.
Murphy, did you find it?
I saw her. I saw the bride. She tried to kill me.
I told you it was true. Now, do you have the Gree-Gree?
Yes, I found it.
Good. Good. Now, do you believe what I've been telling you?
I'm starting to. Why did she try to kill me?
There are some spirits that, even in death, do not wish to give up what they amassed in life. The question is, are you strong enough to persuade them?
I would be if they'd give me a chance to ask them.
Precisely. That will be our next step.
Okay, was muss ich tun? Lesen. 7 Zutaten für
A
Knochen.
manuscript for a voodoo
und
spell?
Särgen
A
im
spell to help me
Inneren
find the
sollten
treasure?
A
sie es
spell to
wagen.
reveal those who know where it
Der
is.
Fokus mag. Hi da.
There are many things on this island that have gone unseen. Stories that have been left unheard, at least by mortals. But I commune with realms beyond. Let me introduce you to a friend. Out of the shadows, the cursed and the damned, return now, my servants, to do my command.
Silber Server.
I have returned to you,
Master.
Loa, this gentleman wishes to find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. Tell him how this can be done.
Ja, erzähl mal.
Only inhabitants of the house know where the treasure lies. Their spirits still within its walls, trapped between life and death. To ask them, those spirits must be pulled back to the mortal realm.
And that is what our spell will do, Murphy. A summoning spell to unveil the ghost trapped within the house.
7 ingredients place inside, tie closed and then unseal. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
Once you've collected all 7, we can summon the ghosts of Belmore Manor. Once we've summoned the ghosts, we can ask them exactly where the treasure was hidden. You have served me, Loa. Be gone. That, Murphy, is your goal. Find the 7 ingredients named in the voodoo manuscript, place them in the Gree-Gree, and return to the Spirit Queen. Are you up to the task?
I think so.
Weiß man
Excellent.
nicht.
Then there's just one thing left to do. The gree that you carry is not yours. It was stolen from the spirits. And an artifact of voodoo will only work for its rightful owner. To be used, it cannot be stolen. It can only be bought or traded or inherited. Fortunately for you, the spirits and I are willing to make a trade for something symbolic of your spirit. The spirit
Okay,
that
also was
yearns to
Persönliches.
escape its humdrum life. If you want the gree to be rightfully yours, what do you have to offer?
Einen kleinen Finger.
Exchange for it?
Achso, das habe ich alles in meinem Inventar, ne? Ja, wahrscheinlich.
It was the pocket watch I'd been given when I reached 5 years as an auditor. I didn't know whether it was to celebrate the fact or rub it in.
Also ist es eh nicht so.
What about this?
A pocket watch, a symbol of the life that doesn't satisfy you, a symbol of lost time. Dare you give it up?
I think I can do without it.
Then cast it into the spirit pool.
Wirf es rein! Los! Tu es! Look!
The spirits have deemed it a satisfactory trade. The gree and its powers are now rightfully yours to
Aber
wield.
wie kann ich sie
You are
nutzen?
ready now, Murphy. Head out to the island and
Also nur
retrieve
wenn
the
ich die
ingredients we
Zutaten
need.
sammle, ne?
Then I will show you the final step of the spell.
How am I going to find what I need?
Everything I've ever needed for my voodoo spells, I've found here. It's as though this island draws the supernatural to it. The bayou, the beach, the town, the manor, all will help you in your search.
Okay.
Tell me, Murphy, have you visited the mill to the north, the fort to the south, the
Nein.
church at the island's heart?
Nein.
The island will lead you to that which you seek. I have no doubt about that.
Okay. Ja, ein neuer, zweiter Ort, dritter Ort. Okay.
How are the ghosts trapped within Belmore Manor?
The explosion is what sealed their fate. They exist now only as spirits, the form they should take in the spirit realm, and yet they remain here in the mortal realm. The ghosts are trapped in that house, unseen,
Aber warum dann nur
unheard,
die
and
Geschwister und nicht
unable to
alle?
interact with the world around them. This spell will change that.
How is the bride able to attack me when she's supposedly unseen and unheard?
Voodoo works best when attuned to emotion, and the strongest of those emotions can sometimes push beyond the known
Wut.
limits. She must have been very angry with you.
If I summon the spirits of the house, won't I also summon the bride again?
Very true, Murphy. Best be a little more persuasive this time.
Who is the creature that you talk to?
That is my Loa. The Loa are the mysteries, the invisibles, the messengers.
Is it a ghost?
No, they are the intermediaries between humans and the supernatural. There are two planes of existence, Murphy. The mortal realm and the spirit realm. Loa can move between them both. With my powers, I can command them when they do.
Fragen wir mal, was
What's
das
this
Schiff
riverboat
ist.
we're aboard?
This is the Spirit Queen.
Yes,
It used to be a
wissen wir.
pleasure boat, plying the rivers around the island. A den of drinking and gambling. That's how I came to own the boat. A lucky game of chance. But between you and me, Murphy, it's a lot easier to win when you have spirits to control the roll of the dice.
Sounds like you cheated.
Fate was always gonna bring this boat to me. I just hurried it along.
So
What
machen wir
was
mal
the
da
explosion that
weiter.
caused everyone to disappear?
It was a tearing in the very threshold between life and death, a chain reaction of spirit energy suddenly unleashed by the most violent of emotions. Just as the bride's anger allowed her to manifest in front of you this very evening, think of the rage that must have caused an entire household to explode and vanish.
How did you learn voodoo?
I have always been adept with the mystic arts. Just as you dream of treasure, Murphy, I dream of power. I came to Devil's Rock many years ago, drawn by its voodoo energy, and no sooner than I arrived, the spirit realm began to reveal itself to me, pleading for me to be its master.
Why is this island such a focus of voodoo energy?
I suspect the
Ja,
answer
das
to
ist eine
that
gute Frage.
question already lies in what you're seeking.
Do
Willst du
you keep an alligator as a pet?
That's right.
Mephistopheles.
My dear old Mephistopheles. Blind as a bat, but with the
Mephistopheles.
smell of a bloodhound. Good thing he's chained up safely in the boiler room.
No, he isn't. He was out on the jetty when I was trying to get aboard.
Where is he now?
Swimming in the bayou.
Oh dear, not again.
I'm going to go and find the voodoo ingredients.
We're back.
Teil 1. Der Beschwörungszauber. Was wird uns alles erwarten? So. Wo der Alligator jetzt wohl hin ist? Kann ich da jetzt mit dem Brecheisen vielleicht?
With a bit of elbow grease, I levered up the window frame.
Ja, wenn die es nicht kaputt machen, dann schiebt das Fenster noch hoch. Oh, sehr cool.
Pressed against the inside wall was a dusty desk covered in spiderwebs. And to top it, one thing lay undisturbed.
Die
A
nehmen wir uns
small
doch gleich.
folded document which I picked up, along with an inadvertent eight-legged companion. Ugh! Those stories and haunted treasures I could handle, but spiders gave me the creeps.
Lizenz ausgestellt vom Handel- und Arbeitsministerium 1910. Okay. So, wir sind jetzt bei der Spirit King. Und wollen wir jetzt erst nochmal gleich hierher schauen und gucken, was uns da so erwartet. Oder gehen wir nochmal kurz nach Dead Needle. Ja, schauen wir uns erstmal an, was es da so gibt. Ne? Die Mühle. Ein Hühnerstall.
Cluck, cluck. Buck, buck, buck. Cluck. I tried to persuade the chicken to come outside, but clearly I was out of cluck. The wood was old and rotting. It wasn't going to be of any use. And who knew what critters might have made their homes inside the pile?
Haben wir da irgendwas? Magst du vielleicht den da
That
verwenden?
didn't work.
Okay.
That wasn't going to work.
Ja,
Nope.
ja, dann lass halt los.
The inside of the lumber mill smelled like sawdust and grease. Judging from the overgrown weeds, it clearly hadn't been used in a long time, and yet the lights remained on.
Haben wir einen Bohrer.
I picked up the auger from the tool shelf.
Wir nehmen einfach mal alles mit. Haben wir da nicht irgendwo was zum Durchkappen gehabt? Aber die Sägeblätter können wir wahrscheinlich nicht nehmen, oder?
The saw blades were rusted, dull, and would surely have precipitated the need for a tetanus shot.
Die hast du sicher schon bekommen. Fett.
If I touched the grease with my bare hands, I'd be spending hours trying to wash it off.
Haben wir irgendwas zum... Nicht den Fisch nehmen?
I needed to think of something else.
Kann ich die Tür aufmachen da oben?
I tried the door, but it was locked.
Das sie mit dem Aufbrechen?
I needed to think of something else. I couldn't break my way through the door, It was peculiarly reinforced for a lumber mill.
Kreissäge. Kann man da irgendwas machen?
I didn't want to touch it. I hadn't seen something with that many scary-looking teeth since Old Lady Malloy's German Shepherd got loose on my 10th birthday.
Stell dich nicht so an.
The hatches were locked. From their shape, I deduced they were for storing lumber, and I wasn't in need of any 2x4s.
Komm, stell dich nicht so an.
The hatch doors had swelled closed. I wasn't getting through them.
Okay. Balken, Balken. Schalttafel. Die haben wir uns noch nicht angeschaut.
The electrical safety of the panel looked questionable. I wasn't going to touch it.
Ah. Langweiler. Da geht's nicht. Was werden wir denn da bekommen? Ich hätte mir eigentlich gedacht, dass wir da... Jetzt können wir uns mal kurz das Rezept da anschauen. Ne? Was der Fokus mag verbergen, wird dieser Zauber offenbaren. Wir brauchen eine Silbermünze. Schießpulver. Schwarze Federn. Eine Kreide. Sargnägel. Knochen. Rum.
It was a manuscript that looked hundreds of years old, with the instructions to a spell that summoned things hidden within. At the center of the manuscript was an empty circle with arrows pointing inward from each of the ingredients. It was marked The Focus. It was a manuscript that looked hundreds of years old, with the...
Ja, nicht da schon.
I couldn't do that.
Ja, nicht. Wo ist denn der Krieg-Beutel? Ist das der Krieg?
I placed the dime into the gree-gree. That would work as the silver coin.
Ah. Was noch? Silbermünze haben wir. Sonst haben wir, glaube ich, nichts. Okay. Da liegt doch nichts rum.
Despite its obvious age, the water wheel was still turning. I couldn't get near it, and that was probably a good thing if I didn't want to get dragged under by the current.
Okay. Dann schauen wir daher. Ah, das ist die Kirche.
The church door was locked. The inside of the church was silent and still. I scanned the headstones for anything of note. I couldn't see any way to open the crypt door. Not a doorknob, not a keyhole. Whoever sealed this up intended to seal it up for good. Embedded into the stony hillside was a
Geometrisches Muster.
I couldn't see any way whoever sealed...
Okay. Kann man nichts weiteres anklicken. Ah, da. Er hat Werkzeug. Er hat sicher Sargnägel. Für was auch immer, aber wir nehmen es einfach mal mit. Ah, ich verstehe, das soll...
With the jack removed, the table rocked freely. Hello?
Yeah!
Yeah!
God darn it! Don't sneak up on people like that! You frighten the dying daylights out of me.
He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. Sorry, you seem a little jumpy.
I thought you were that pesky little girl again.
A little girl? That doesn't seem like a reason to be scared.
She's a terror. One of these days, she's gonna give me a heart attack. Last week, she showed up with a doctor's note she'd forged, saying a man I'd buried that day was just a very deep sleeper. 7 hours I was out here digging him back up, at my age.
And was he sleeping?
Dead as a dodo. Just like that little girl will be if I get my hands on her. Who are you, anyway?
My name's Murphy McCallan. I've just arrived on the island.
Well, welcome, Mr. Murphy. I'm Edgar Kettle. Gravedigger, undertaker, coffin maker, and anything else that needs doing to keep this cemetery running.
Okay.
Did you make this coffin?
I sure did. But this is no more than a pauper's coffin by anyone's standards. The finest the parish pension can buy. Lock them in lumber, leave them to slumber, that's what I say. This'll end up 5 feet under by the end of the night.
I thought it was supposed to be 6 feet.
You're not the one doing the digging. 5 feet means I get a tea break.
Er ist halt schon alt. Verstehe ich.
Was the little girl named Mallory Wisp by any chance?
That's her. The peril in a pinafore. She got the whole town thinking I was burying people prematurely. I walked past the school the other day, and they'd made up a jump rope chant about me.
Wollen wir den Spruch hören? Ja, natürlich.
Oh, what was the chant the school children made up about you?
Edgar, Edgar, crazy feller, just be careful, he don't get you. How many bodies did he strive to bury while they're still alive?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I wasn't looking for audience participation.
Sorry, I got carried away. Just like you with the burying. Have you got any spare coffin nails?
No, I don't have any to spare. I've got a backlog of bodies begging for burial. But does the parish increase my funding? Nope. The roof's leaking. My table's broken. I've used floorboards to build some of the coffins. Take my advice. Don't go into this line of work. Undertaking is a dying business.
Naja, eigentlich nicht, weil Leute sterben immer, oder?
I'm looking for the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Oh, a treasure hunter. Well, let me tell you something, young man. Don't even think about digging up my graveyard. There's no treasure buried here, and I'm already busy enough filling in the holes that are supposed to be here.
Weißt du
Do you know
etwas?
anything about the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
I think it's important to let the dead rest in peace.
But what if they're not in peace?
Well, you got me there. Listen, I think there's more to that story than
Wahrscheinlich.
meets the eye.
Ich vermute
You
das
know
auch
the
sehr.
3 brothers went missing, right? Well, if you ask me, I think Abigail Belmore was behind it. She was engaged to a
Aber warum
sailor.
ist sie dann so sauer?
Nobody like her would go for a commoner.
She might have loved him.
She could have loved somebody with a big bank account, too. I think she must have been using him, pretending to love him so he'd do her dirty work for her, bumping off her brothers. And afterwards, she drops him and goes to marry the officer of the company. Fiendish.
Do you have any proof?
Yeah, just a feeling, that's all. But when you work with cadavers, you kinda get a sixth sense about things.
Was glaubst du, was hinter dem Verschwinden steckt?
What do you think was behind the disappearance?
Well, the sailor must have found out he was being manipulated, right? Done something to get his revenge.
What do you think he did?
Nobody knows. He could have been working his way through those bodies like a madman. All we know is that everyone in that house disappeared. Tell you the truth, quite relieved they did.
Why's that?
Because if they hadn't disappeared, it would have been this old fool who had to bury him. Saved me a lot of work.
Do you think I could fit inside the coffin?
Warum auch
Probably
immer?
not. The gentleman inside might make it a bit of a squeeze.
You mean there's a dead guy inside there?
There better be. I can't afford to be burying empty coffins.
Have you ever accidentally buried someone who was still alive?
Tja,
Has someone been making accusations again?
No, just making conversation.
Well, not that I know of. When you think about it, how would I know?
Shouts for help, desperate shaking of the coffin.
Look, I haven't sealed anyone up who was chatting with me, let's put it that way. I usually check for signs of life, but everyone takes shortcuts sometimes, don't they? I deserve some rest in peace, too.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hopefully not the guy in the coffin.
Not funny.
I best be running along.
Don't drop dead. I don't want anything else on my to-do list.
I didn't need to show him that.
Okay, schade. Kann ich den in den Sarg legen? Hätte sein können, dass er wackelt oder so. Die Wagenheber bringt mir jetzt, glaube ich, auch nichts. Hufeisen.
I thought I'd keep that to myself. The gravedigger definitely wouldn't have been happy with me prying up the lid of the coffin.
Nee, ich glaube auch nicht.
The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I wasn't going to be able to open it.
Da kannst du nicht an dem...
A mischievous idea began to form in my mind. Hey, I think the guy inside here might still be alive.
And why would you think something like that?
The coffin was just shaking around. Maybe you should open it up.
Well, I didn't see it move.
The gravedigger had me in a conundrum. I could hardly start shaking it right in front of his eyes.
And unless the body inside starts jiggling around, I'm not opening up that coffin.
That didn't work.
Schade. Könnte man da noch drunter stellen, was wackelt. Lichtdose.
The tin was full of nothing but holes.
Blasebalg.
I didn't need to warm my hands on the stove. It was already a humid night, and the fire was more useful at keeping bugs away from the shack than keeping anyone toasty.
Kann ich den Blasebalg verwenden?
I didn't need to blow on that. I didn't need to blow on that.
Ist da sonst noch irgendwas, was man erkennt? Nur die Gräber. Ich bräuchte halt Nägel, aber ich habe keine Ahnung. Na, schauen wir mal weiter.
Hurry up with the barrels, Morris. We gotta get these unloaded before anyone sees us.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Musket? I don't think we should be using a church as our hiding place.
You're not being paid to think, Morris. You carry those barrels in here and let me worry about the theological implications. This place has been abandoned for decades. There's nobody around.
Nobody living, maybe. What if there's ghosts, boss?
Darn it, Morris. If brains was
Ghosts,
dynamite,
boss.
you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. Now get unloading. Keep
Get
an eye
unload.
out for anyone snooping around.
What if someone catches us?
If anyone asks, we're the new clergy. We tell them these barrels are full of communion wine.
I thought we was rum runners, not wine runners, boss.
Communion rum den.
Messerum.
Ah, gotcha.
Remember, St. Juniper's Church is a place to get closer to God. And if anyone questions our alibi, we make sure that happens.
The pair of rum runners looked like the human personifications of the dish and the spoon from Hey Diddle Diddle. The gangly spoon bossing around the rotund dish as it carried barrels effortlessly from the jalopy and into the church. As it turned out, nursery rhyme characters become a lot more intimidating once they have revolvers. I could see the shadows of the rum runners moving around inside the church, but I didn't want to get too close in case they saw me too. The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. The jalopy door was locked. How ironic that the rum runners would take care not to be the target of criminality.
Kann ich da irgendwas machen? Kann ich... ich habe aber kein Behältnis, ne? Ah, schade. Ich brauche ja Rum. Aber ich habe keinen...
Using the auger, I drilled a small hole in the
Becher.
barrel, and out poured rum.
Ich habe ja keinen Becher. Kann ich den Fisch abfüllen?
That didn't work.
Shit. Kann ich das direkt in den Grigri packen?
Grigri would get doused if I placed it directly in the spurting rum, and I didn't want to damage it.
Okay, ja, und dann wahrscheinlich.
Musket, one of the barrels has sprung a leak.
How many times are you gonna bother me? Put a cork in it, will ya?
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Vielleicht reicht es ja einfach den. Schauen wir da noch hin. Vielleicht kann man den Korken einfach rausnehmen. Nein.
The lighthouse light was off.
Okay. Gehen wir mal da rein.
I could have tried squeezing my arms through the bars, but I already knew the barrel was too far away to reach. The coat of arms depicted 4 lions surrounding a central flower, topped by a medieval tower.
Warum ist die Katze so? Ah, die ist so komisch.
Here, kitty, kitty. Psst, 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 psst. It was no use. That cat was clearly more entranced by shiny things than the stranger outside the gate. Nope. The cat wasn't going to be interested in that. The cat wasn't going to be interested in that.
Ich glaube, hier komme ich dann halt auch noch nicht weiter.
The coat of arms depict... I couldn't get to the staircase while the gate was locked.
Dann,
The plaque read, Fort de l'Amour. No public access. For further information, please contact the lighthouse keeper.
okay, na, dann werden wir halt mal den Leuchthauswärter suchen. Jetzt würde ich da trotzdem noch mal gern her. Ich würde gerne den Korken rausziehen.
The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls.
Korken. Will weg. Again? Alter, er steckt ihn einfach wieder rein. Dann gehen wir mal nach Dead Needle. Herrlich.
The fishing net was worn and useless. Using it would have been like trying to catch soup with a sieve.
Jetzt würde ich gerne wissen, ob ich diesen... Alter, wo ist der Korken?
It was a small metal tool used for drilling holes by hand.
Okay, er hat nicht den Korken mitgenommen. Boah. Das ist ja... Hätte ich mir schon gedacht, dass das funktioniert. Schau mal, da ist offen.
Murphy McAllen, so you're still here.
See.
What have you been up to? Anything newsworthy?
That's none of your business. Don't think I've forgotten your trick with the telegram.
Hey,
Oh,
it's
sure.
nothing personal. Your business is my business, and my business is news. I'm Evelyn Stoker, editor of the Juniper Parish Gazette. No misdeed left unshared, no drama left unmonetized. Come on, work with me here, McAllen. I need something juicy. Committed any
Okay,
crimes?
schauen wir mal,
Uncovered
was wir
any
für dich
affairs?
haben.
Any deep, personal secrets to reveal?
The honest-to-God truth? No.
I need a good story. I can't let something minor like the truth stand in the way of that.
I picked up
nehmen
the
wir mal
scissors.
mit.
With her stunt at the bayou, I figured she owed me one.
Was ist das? Eine Schnur.
I picked up the twine. Maybe she owed me 2.
Können wir noch was mitnehmen? Behälter.
I didn't want to get ink all over me trying to carry the canister around.
Don't even think about it. The spring on that printing press looks like it's going to blow at any moment.
Mhm. Okay.
There was no way I was going to get past the newspaper editor to get it. Besides, I didn't know how to operate it.
Na dann. Reden wir mal mit der
Yes?
Evelyn Stoker.
What are you working on?
One of the most romantic articles this newspaper's ever seen. Francois Fogg, Dead Nettle's local pharmacist, is reuniting with his long-lost love after 14 years apart, thanks to this newspaper's personal ads column.
What a lovely story.
That's right. She mailed in a letter she wanted printed. Her former sweetheart saw it, and now they're on track to see each other again. Eventually.
Eventually?
Well, that's a bit of an administrative issue. In the letter we received, she told him to meet her in her Texas hometown of Magnolia. Due to a tiny typesetting error, he's now on a 6-week voyage to Mongolia. But doesn't it warm your heart how far people will go for love?
Would you take my photograph?
Do you know how much the chemicals cost to develop those photographs? I'm on a limited budget here, McAllen. Unless you've done something notable, you're not getting into print.
Did you know Comptroller Grimes?
How could I forget him? The guy was a walking, talking migraine generator.
Surely you shouldn't speak of the dead like that.
Why not? I spoke plenty worse about him when he was alive. Anyway, I'm sure everything happens for a reason. And hopefully that reason is to increase my circulation numbers. Everything's connected, you know. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? I suspect it works for moths too, because I can never get the damn things out of here. Some people say that if a man breaks wind in Alabama, it can cause a hurricane in Fiji.
I think I shared a train car with that guy on my way here.
Hast du keine interessanteren Stories, über die du schreiben kannst?
Don't you have more interesting stories to write about?
The crackpots this island calls a population wouldn't know something interesting if they paid for it. Which they hardly do. Believe me, I've tried to get juicier stories. Scouring the island, doorstop interviews, hiding under windows.
You eavesdrop on people through their windows?
Stalkerin.
It's called investigative reporting.
Paparazzi.
I'm doing some research on the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Have you found it?
Well, no, not yet. I've just started looking.
Then don't waste my time. Come back when you've got the goods.
Yay, I come back then.
You might not believe this, but I saw a ghost inside Belmore Manor.
You know what? You're right, McAllen. I don't believe it. Really? You've been on this island how long? And you're already starting to sound as loopy as a local.
Have you ever written an article on the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
What a waste of column inches. Leave it. That's my advice. There's no story in it.
No story.
Not one that anyone would believe. And I've got advertisers breathing down my neck.
What do you think went on?
Practically everyone on this island thinks there was some kind of sorcery involved. No one is looking at the reality. If I write up my research, no one on the island will believe me. If I write their wackadoodle theories, I'll be laughed out of the industry.
You can tell me what you've uncovered about Belmore Manor. Trust me, at this point, few things would surprise me.
I heard the Belmore Trading Company was losing revenue. Its profits eaten up by who knows what ventures those brothers had going on. I've seen the records. The company was privately owned, sure. But when you've got pressure building and the sharks are circling, you've got to shore up your defenses. I think that's why the Belmores persuaded Abigail to marry John Rackham.
Marry someone she didn't love?
But he didn't love her either. He was just after the company, so he hires the sailor to seduce her, convince her there's more to life than Devil's Rock. And as soon as she marries Rackham, they split, never to see each other again. He inherits the lot, and she disappears with her lover boy sailor to who knows where.
Why do you think all the guests disappeared?
They bumped them off to cover their tracks. Either one of them could have been sunning it up in Sarasota ever since. But imagine me writing that into a piece of serious journalism.
Okay, dazu jeder seine eigene
I think
Theorie.
I better be
Ne?
going.
Keep your eyes peeled for a story, McAllen. There are secrets on the island. And it's my job to run advertisements next to them.
Okay, danke. Kann ich hier Geld anbieten für...
I didn't need to buy anything from her.
Doch, ein Foto. Ach komm. Habt ihr nett was Neues? Nett Chips.
The stories about Belmore Manor are true. I saw the ghost
Oh,
bride
der hat ein
inside the
Messer.
house.
Blast it, Murphy. Don't say I didn't warn you. This island has had its fair share of the macabre. The best way to deal with it is to leave well enough alone.
Gib mir dein
Why are
Messer.
you searching for that treasure anyway?
Well, it's my job. The state's claim on that money runs out at 8 a.m., and I'm supposed to find it.
You seem pretty passionate about something that's just for work. What are the odds you draw an assignment like that?
Well, I might have made my own luck there. They wouldn't normally authorize an investigation so close to the statute of limitations running out, especially on a 30-year-old cold case. But thrust a stack of forms in front of the boss 5 minutes before clocking off on a Friday afternoon. He doesn't care what he's signing.
Let's just hope he wasn't signing your death warrant.
Most of my investigations don't amount to more than counting paper clips in a municipal building or going cross-eyed over receipt rolls in a courthouse. When I found that old case folder tucked behind the filing cabinet, only water-stained magazine, talking about a real-life haunted house, how could I pass it up? You didn't tell me the Spirit Queen was a riverboat.
Oh, sure. That thing's been moored up in the bayou with her keel kissing the mud for years. Which doctor lives aboard her now? Claims to sell all manner of hoodoo and voodoo. But to believe that, you'd be dumber than the Bachelor in New Orleans, throwing beads at the Sisters of Mercy.
Was ist das? Da gibt es noch mehr Antworten. Kein Glück beim
No luck
Angeln.
fishing?
Not a bite, Mac. The Pengoza fish just ain't snapping for me today. Shame, too, because I'm planning on firing up my grill later. And the tastiest catch in these waters.
I spoke with Dr. Moray. He thinks we can make contact with the ghosts.
Moray is a charlatan and a fool. Only got into hoodoo and voodoo a few years ago. Before that, he was an actor over at the Calliope Theater, and not a very good one. He's the only person I know who directed and starred in a one-person production of The Pirates of Penzance. And that's because all the rest of the cast dropped out rather than work with him. He's always been searching for respect and recognition. Who would have known he found it by living in the swamp and reeking of incense?
Tja.
How do you catch a Pencoza fish?
With hours of patience and decades of practice. You ever wrestled a rod before?
Just the once. I went fishing on Lake Erie, but the only thing I caught was a cold. What do you do with the fish you catch?
A couple I save for myself, and the rest I sell to the Captain's Club. They fancy them up with lemon lobsters, slawfish, something or other. But everyone knows the best way to cook them is to grill them.
Don't you believe in voodoo?
I certainly do. I just don't think Moray's got any more control of it than a rooster has control of the sunrise. His understanding of voodoo amounts to whatever he's gleaned from one of those horror pictures Ventura Studios puts out at the movie palace.
Okay,
My mom used to know all about
gut
it.
aus?
God rest her soul.
Die
Voodoo
Mama.
isn't some made-up Hollywood magic, Mac. Voodoo's a real religion. It's about community, about belonging, and about searching for something more than flesh and blood. It's not the snake oil he peddles.
Ja.
What do you
Was
think
glaubst
happened
du?
at Belmore Manor?
Now, there's a tale I don't like to tell.
Can I persuade you to tell it anyway?
I have a feeling I ain't gonna get any rest until I do. You know about Miss Belmore, the bride, engaged to the sailor? Nah, the way I hear, Mr. Rackham was over the moon with her. Such an upstanding fellow. I won't have a bad word said against him. Now, he realized that the sailor was going through terrible lengths to ensnare his bride, and Mr. Rackham tried to save her. I heard that the sailor caught on to this and tricked Rackham into giving the lady a gift. That's what made everything go topsy-turvy.
What was the gift?
There are places in the Caribbean that trade things more elusive than gold. Ungodly things.
Do you think the disappearance was caused by voodoo?
And that's what my mama used to say. If you're not careful, that stuff can go to your head.
Why won't you hear a word against Mr. Rackham?
He gave me my first work on this island, right here on these docks. And I'm still here to this day. He may have worn a scowl, but he don't judge a banana by its peel with people like him, Mac. When I looked into his eyes, all I saw was ambition.
What work did you do?
Loading and unloading the ships that came in. Of course, they just don't do that anymore. Dead Nettle's a forgotten town. Maybe that's for the best.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
Hey, Ned, do you mind if I borrow your knife?
If you need it, Mac, just bring it back to me later tonight, would you? If I'm lucky with my catch, I'll be firing up the grill. You're invited to join me, of course.
Cool. Wir haben ein Messer. Nice. Dann... Oh, da geht's auch schon rein. Der Captain's Club. Schauen wir dann noch rein. Dann muss ich, glaube ich, bald mal was essen. Hallo? Guten Tag.
I glanced at the ledger on the podium. It was mostly empty. The words I could see were written in such an unreadable scrawl that looked like a centipede had dipped its legs in ink and skittered across the page.
Hallo,
Good evening.
Guten
He looked
Abend.
past me like I was invisible, as though if he ignored me hard enough, there was a chance I'd disappear. I said good evening?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to me.
There's no one else here.
Wishful thinking on my part. Have you taken a wrong turn, sir?
I'm just having a look around.
Well, make it a quick one, and I shall need to know your name.
Murphy McAllen, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Felix Greer, maitre d', bartender, and acting manager of the Captain's Club. When Mr. Perkins has the night off.
Ich muss kurz antworten. Ich will kurz antworten. Kleinigkeiten machen. So, was ist das für ein Ort?
What is this place?
This, sir, is the Captain's Club, a private members club for current and retired sea and riverboat captains. We are highly exclusive. Are you a captain?
He asked with a smugness that told me he already knew the answer.
I thought not. Then may I recommend a swift exit? You'll find a convenient egress to your starboard side. If you like, I can give you a good swift kick in the right direction, sir. And don't feel a need to stop walking until your ankles get soggy.
Ned told me he sells fish to you. What do you serve here?
Captains.
Right, yes. I mean by way of food.
The Captain's Club serves a dazzling array of sea-sourced dishes, from our house special jambalaya to my personal favorite, Devil's Rock Pancoza, pan-seared with lobster slaw and citrus crawfish beer blanc. In all honesty, it's not very popular. Most of the clientele are absolutely sick of seafood by the time they get ashore. Just the sight of it makes them queasy.
Okay, aber da kommen wir jetzt erstmal nicht rein. Das heißt, ich mache mich erstmal am Weg und dann später nochmal zurück. Weil da komme ich wahrscheinlich erst rein, wenn ich hier... Wo ist denn der Ausweis?
It was a riverboat captain's.
Wenn ich da mein Bild reinfügen kann, wahrscheinlich. Schauen wir mal, ob da drüben schon offen ist. Wenn nicht, gehen wir nochmal ganz kurz. Ah, da ist auch offen. Ja, cool. Gehen wir mal da rein.
Oh, my second customer of the night. I don't know if I can handle such a rush. Welcome, young man, to Doubloon's Jewelry. Oh, the riches to fill your breeches. Jewels, silver, gold, the finest things for you to behold. Whom do I have the pleasure of meeting?
My name's Murphy McAllen.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you. My name's Jasper Crumb, owner and proprietor. Are you looking for something valuable while you're here on the island?
Funnily enough, I am.
Is there a special someone in your life? Looking for an apology gift, perhaps? I've sold more missed anniversary necklaces and drunken fumble earrings than I can count.
No, I don't need anything like that.
Then how about something for yourself? You look like a working man. Could I interest you in a pocket watch?
Actually, I had one up until about an hour ago. Traded it to a glowing green guy for a magic pouch. As the words left my lips, I realized I sounded like a character from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Pardon me?
I'm just here to browse.
Browse away, young man. I'll be here if you need me.
There is no reason to use the microscope without something to magnify. While the microscope was meant for jewelry, I was confident I'd already revealed this brooch's secrets. Excuse me, would you be able to polish a brooch for me?
Let me take a look. Oh, well, 18-karat yellow gold, filigree wirework in a handcrafted floral motif, and round, brilliant cut ruby, if I'm not mistaken, made to fit a music box?
That's right. How did you know that?
I know my own handiwork anywhere. Now, how did you get a hold of it?
Oh, just a gift.
What a generous gift indeed. Well, we do offer free polishings on all items purchased here, so I'd be very happy to shine her up for you. Please, bear with me for a moment.
Hätte ich ihn da irgendwie ablenken können.
There we go, shining like a firefly's rear end. I'm afraid the clasp on the back has broken off. You weren't planning on wearing it soon, were you?
I wasn't planning on wearing it at all.
There's no shame in indulging yourself every once in a while. Lord knows I can appreciate the comfort and empowerment a pair of hosiery can bring. Anyway, we don't have any replacement clasps in stock, but I can put it in order. In the meantime, here's a button magnet that should hold it in place, as long as you're not too vigorous with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So habe ich einen Magneten bekommen.
It was the ornate brooch I'd had cleaned at the jeweler's, now glimmering in the light.
Ja, da ist der Magnet. Ein Knopfmagnet.
The cabinet proudly displayed all manner of gold and silver creations, watches, necklaces, pendants, and more, all made in-house by the jeweler. There was no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish around with me. The cabinet was filled with precious jewels, geodes, and fossils next to a small sign that read, Treasures of the Earth. Good evening, Mr. Crumb.
How can I help you?
I'm looking for lost treasure.
I'd say you found it. Everything inside these four walls is a treasure, handmade to the finest quality.
I mean a specific treasure. The lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Well, if you find it, bring it in here for an appraisal. I'll give you a good price for it. But that's a pretty big if, isn't it?
What do you know about Belmore Manor?
Oh, it's a tragedy what went on there. But I know what I think.
Schwarze Magie. Das liegt irgendwie so.
Black magic?
That's right. While some of us make an honest living around these parts, there are others who are lured in by the darker depths of the sea.
Who do you think that was?
Well, it's simple, isn't it? Abigail used to stop by here all the time, taking a gander at the rings and the necklaces. She was a lovely young girl who always saw the best in people. And Mr. Rackham, he was a model for how to run a good business. Honest and decisive. Now, that only leaves one person, doesn't it?
The sailor?
Exactly. I'd heard rumors about black magic going on inside Belmore Manor. I think he was casting his spell on Abigail, making her fall in love with him. Why else would someone as rich as her want to marry someone like him? He certainly couldn't afford the rings and necklaces that caught her eye. I think, come the night of the wedding, she wised up. That's why she decided to marry Mr. Rackham after all. A much more responsible choice for the company.
How's business tonight?
You're not a millionaire with an enraged fiancé, are you?
I'm not, no.
I didn't think so. Then business tonight is about as lively as a snail drinking decaf. The only other customer I had in here tonight was more interested in the provenance of fossils than the shiny stuff. Booked a private viewing, and then didn't buy anything. Can you believe it? The first time in weeks the shop gets a private viewing, and all they're interested in is bones.
You sell fossils, too?
I sell all the treasures of the earth. If it's under the ground and I can sell it, I'm interested.
I hear Burke and Hare had the same philosophy. What are you selling?
We specialize in jewelry and precious stones. Rings, necklaces, earrings, and brooches in this cabinet to my left. Gems, geodes, and fossils in this cabinet to my right. You'd be surprised at how much of an impact some stones can make. My family can tell you that. We also offer a free polishing service on all purchases from the shop. Just bring it in and we'll shine it up for you. Our little thank you to our loyal customers.
How do you know what jewelry was purchased here?
I handcraft everything this shop sells. I have an encyclopedic knowledge of our wares, Mr. McAllen, going back decades.
Okay.
What's the most valuable thing in here?
I suppose that depends on how you value things, doesn't it?
In dollars and cents?
Yes, I used to value things that way. But a lack of business has a way of making you more philosophical about these things. Now I'd say the most valuable thing here is Granny.
Granny? Your grandmother is in here?
That's right. In the fishbowl. Granny is my goldfish.
You named your goldfish Granny?
Yes, it was the most wondrous thing. The same day my grandmother Bethesda died, I was out at the local fun fair, and I won this goldfish on the ring toss. When we got home, every time we mentioned Bethesda, that little fish jumped out of the water and back on in.
Cool.
We think Granny's passed on into that fish. What do you think?
I mean this with no disrespect, but I think that's the craziest thing I've come across tonight, and I had a ghost bride trying to kill me.
We all have our quirks.
But don't goldfish only live for a few years? If she was your grandmother, she must have died sometime around the middle of the last century.
Oh yes, that's right. Each time the goldfish dies, Granny's spirit hops into a new fish. We must be on Granny number 44 by now.
I think I'll just look around for now.
I'm here if you need me.
Okay.
What a nice young man. Isn't he, Granny? I couldn't have put it better myself.
Cool. Gehen wir mal zur Insel. Dann würde ich gerne nochmal... kann ich da jetzt irgendwas machen? Was haben wir denn jetzt? Achso, da kommen wir, gehen wir mal daher. Und da hinten weiß ich, gibt es ein Seil zum Kappen. Wir haben ein Messer. Was ist denn da drinnen? Melasse.
I wasn't going to touch the molasses with my bare hands. With the items I was borrowing across the island, some may have said I had sticky fingers, but this would have made it a little bit too literal.
Kann ich die Tür jetzt öffnen? Ah.
I reached up to the cow skull and dislocated its grisly jaw.
Warum? Oh Gott, das sind so viele Gegenstände. Ah, warte, Knochen.
I placed the jawbone into the gree-gree. It was a manuscript.
Knochen. Der Magnet wird sicher nicht. Jetzt haben wir mal 2 Zutaten.
The wheel was too heavy to move.
Okay. Was steht denn da noch drauf? Beide Sargnägel. Also irgendwie brauchen wir einen Becher. Irgendein Behältnis oder ein Tuch oder... Dann kann ich nochmal in die Eingangstür. Vielleicht werde ich ja nochmal rausgeschmissen, aber...
I went to open the door into Belmore Manor, but the key was gone. I was sure I'd left it in the lock.
Super. Okay. Ja, geh halt. Jetzt. Entschuldigung. So, 10 Minuten machen wir noch und dann werde ich mir was zum Essen machen. Den Leuchtturmwärter haben wir auch noch nicht getroffen. Gehen wir nochmal zur Baxters Mühle. Haben wir da irgendwas Neues?
The twine would be more useful to me intact.
Was könnte die Schere gebrauchen? Federn?
I didn't need to cut that. I needed to that wasn't going to work.
Da habe ich jetzt eigentlich auch nur das gleiche wieder, ne? Nicht da irgendwas?
I didn't want to touch it. I hadn't seen something with that many scary-looking teeth since old...
Okay. Brecheisen will er da auch nicht verwenden. Ich wüsste jetzt auch nicht, für was ich den Knopfmagneten hier verwenden sollte.
I couldn't do that.
Okay. Hätte sein können.
It was the ornate brooch I...
Ja, ich wollte mir die anschauen, kann ich nicht.
Nope. The chicken coop was already crooked enough, and I didn't want to damage it.
Okay, will ihn nicht kaputt machen. Wollte vielleicht
I
Fisch.
needed to think of something else.
Präparierter
It
Fisch.
was the taxidermied fish I'd taken from the riverboat, with a ripped seam opening up to the stuffing inside. The fish was already ripped open along the seam. The fish was already ripped open along the seam. I needed to think of something else. With the ripped seam as an opening, I placed the horseshoe inside the taxidermy fish. Now it was heavy.
Okay.
I couldn't do that. It was a taxidermied fish now concealing a heavy iron horseshoe inside.
Warum? Okay, wir haben jetzt mal den Fisch präpariert. Für was haben wir den Fisch präpariert? Das kleine Mädchen. Oh, was ist denn das? Da liegt eine Flasche. Ich würde mal schauen, ob das Mädchen auch noch da ist eigentlich. Nimm mal die
As I picked
Flasche.
up the bottle, I anticipated what could be inside. A brine-stained treasure map, perhaps, or a scribbled plea from a castaway desperately awaiting rescue. Looking inside, I found it was empty. The only writing on it was the embossed glass letters of the Orangello Soda Company.
Okay, habt ihr mal eingesteckt. Wieder noch ein Inventar mehr. Ah, aha, wir haben eine Flüssigkeit zum... Voll gut. Ah, jetzt kommt jedes Mal diese Animation. Schon lästig. Korkenzieher.
The rum runners caught me breaking into their get. Besides, from what I could.
Jetzt sollst du besser nehmen. Dann. Na komm schon. Yay.
I filled the bottle with rum pouring from the barrel. Relief washed over me at the realization that I'd done it without getting caught by the 2 rum runners.
Oh.
Hey, Musket! There's someone out here!
Or so I thought.
Hey, fella, what do you think you're doing snooping around here? This is our church, you know, and it's closed.
Das ist sicher gleich ein Tod, aber ich würde Zucker nehmen. Ich wusste gar nicht, dass Geistliche heutzutage
I didn't
Revolver
realize the
ausgerüstet
clergy
sind.
were equipped with revolvers nowadays.
He's being a wise guy, Musket.
I'm the villain full of lead.
But boss, it's bad luck to bump someone off in a churchyard.
Now, where'd you hear a nonsensical thing like that?
I thought churches was hallowed ground, where sin and immorality would face supernatural punishment in this world or the next.
Where do you get this stuff from? I told you, I do the thinking in this partnership.
Okay, ich hab rum.
I poured the rum into the gree-gree.
So, das heißt, uns fehlen Sargnägel, Kreide und Schießpulver.
It was a manuscript.
Kreide. Werden wir wahrscheinlich da drin bekommen. Das habe ich schon verwendet. Für was ist dieser Fisch gut?
What do you think of my fish?
That's a whopper. Hang it on the scale and let's see what it weighs. Doubt it'll beat Squib's record, though. Mac, does that say what I think it does? You been holding back on me. That breaks Squib's record.
Squib?
Jebediah Squib. The Cajun catcher, he calls himself. Last week at the Dead of the Docks, Squib caught the heaviest pincosa on record. Got his photograph on the front page of the newspaper and everything.
McAllen,
Ah, ich habe mein Foto.
how does it feel to
wie
have decimated
cool.
the town record in your first few hours on the island?
How did you hear about this so fast?
It's my job to know about things fast. Now, I'm asking the questions here. Where'd you get the fish, McAllen?
Well, it was a mighty battle on the southern coast. Its fins strong as a motor, its mouth as fierce as a tiger's. I paused dramatically to allow my fishing prowess to wash over them.
What rod did you use?
Wooden one?
I mean, what make?
You know, I didn't use a rod.
You caught the fish without a rod?
It was more one-on-one. Mono, fisho.
You wrestled a fish?
And I won.
Well, as much as it pains me to say it, you're the cover story in the next edition of the Juniper Parish Gazette. And this is why I'm not getting a Pulitzer.
Okay.
I've got to hand it to you, Mac. That fish is a whopper. I don't know how you got it, but as long as it keeps Squib quiet at the porch party tomorrow, I ain't complaining.
Break a record.
I'd had enough of carrying these suspiciously heavy fish around. I decided to leave it there.
Nein, ach, du bist ja ein Depp.
I had more important things to do than fish.
Okay. wollte jetzt aber angeln. Na gut. Lauf schneller.
The fishing net was worn and useless. Using it would have been like trying to catch soup with a sieve.
Mhm. Naja, vielleicht hat sie ja jetzt Abzüge für mich.
Murphy! Have you seen the cover of the evening edition? I think we caught your personality perfectly in that photograph. Naive, simple, unsophisticated. Makes it all the more surprising that you actually accomplished something.
I wonder if I should have it framed.
That'll cost you. Hey, those cost money, you know.
But it has my photograph on it.
The Do Not Serve board down at Spinelli's bar has my photograph on it. But that doesn't mean I can just pick it up and walk out with it, does it?
I'd like to buy a newspaper.
Finally, I get something out of you loitering in here. That'll be 1 cent, please.
I picked up the newspaper. The fewer people that saw it, the better. The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record," with my photograph printed in black and white. The headline read...
Ja, ich würde gern hier...
The headline read...
Gehen wir mal kurz raus. Dann Schere.
Carefully, I cut my photograph out of the newspaper. It was the photograph of my...
Dann...
I was going to need something adhesive to stick it in with.
Ich brauche etwas Klebriges. Ja, das wäre, aber ich brauche ja wieder irgendwas. Na gut, ich werde jetzt aber mal speichern. Und zwar hier. Dann sage ich mal vielen Dank fürs Dabeisein. Ich werde dieses Video auch euch an YouTube, vielen Dank. Vielleicht hat es euch der erste Teil gefallen. Ich werde dann die Tage das weiterspielen. Sagt mir, wie es euch gefällt. Würde mich über einen Kommentar und ein Like freuen natürlich. Heute Abend auf Twitch wird es dann eine Runde Demeo Dungeons and Dragons geben. Na gut, aber bis dahin wünsche ich euch erstmal einen schönen Samstagvormittag. Wir sehen uns, macht es gut, haut rein, bis später.